Raspberry team has come up with a solution called Network Installer that comes with a new bootloader update. Now using this new feature, you can install any OS on Raspberry Pi 4 or 400 without the need for another computer. So when you turn on the Raspberry Pi with a new bootloader, it will search for an OS on the SD card or USB device. If it finds a blank storage device, the network installer screen will pop up. Now this allows us to download the Raspberry Pi Imager tool to the primary storage, aka random access memory. Now using this tool, we can flash the Raspberry Pi OS to the SD card or USB drive on the go. Hey guys, my name is KSK Royal. In this video, I'm going to show you how to set up a Raspberry Pi 4 with a network installer. Let's get started. Alright, first things first, by the time of recording this video, the network installer for Raspberry Pi 4 is in beta and you need to update the bootloader, which is also in beta, to take advantage of this feature. In the upcoming months, we're going to see the stable release of the brand new bootloader for Raspberry Pi 4. Anyway, the only prerequisites of this video, you need a Raspberry Pi 4 or 400, a blank SD card or USB drive, an Ethernet cable with a faster internet connection, and you need a monitor, keyboard, mouse, and power supply. Lastly, you need a computer running a Windows, Mac OS, or Linux operating system to update the bootloader. Alright, for demonstrating this video, I'm going to use a Windows OS. Go ahead and download the latest version of the Raspberry Pi Imager tool from the link in the description. Then go ahead and connect the SD card to the computer. Now open the Raspberry Pi Imager tool. Then select Choose OS and look for the miscellaneous images. Now here you can see the two options. The first one is the stable bootloader and the second is for the beta testers. Now as of now, to use the network installer, you need to be running a beta bootloader on the Raspberry Pi 4. So I'm going to select the second option, then look for SD card boot. If you're applying the bootloader update from USB, choose the USB boot option. Then select your storage destination and write the bootloader update to the SD card. Now once it's done, go ahead, eject the SD card and insert inside Raspberry Pi 4. Now go ahead, turn on the Raspberry Pi 4. Now after a few seconds, the Raspberry Pi 4 will start blinking with a green color light. At the same time, you can see a green screen on the monitor which indicates the bootloader update was successful. Now go ahead, turn off the Raspberry Pi 4 and eject the SD card. Now I'm going to reconnect the SD card back to my Windows computer and format it using the SD formatter. Now as you can see, this is the blank SD card and there is no OS present inside it. I'm going to go ahead, eject the SD card and insert inside Raspberry Pi 4. Now along with that, I'm going to connect to the internet using an Ethernet cable. Then I'm going to connect to keyboard and mouse via Bluetooth controller and turn on the Raspberry Pi. Now on the monitor screen, you will see a brand new page which is known as the network installer. If you press the escape key, it's going to look for an OS on the SD card or USB drive, also known as a diagnostic screen. Now as you can see, it did not find any OS. Now pressing the enter key on the keyboard takes you back to this page. Now hold the shift key for 5 to 10 seconds. Then press the space bar to start downloading the Raspberry Pi Imager tool to the primary storage, aka random access memory. Now once it's done, the GUI version of the Raspberry Pi imager will be loaded, and from here you can download the operating system. And for now, I'm going to select the all-new 64-bit Raspberry Pi OS Desktop Edition. Then select the storage destination, which in my case is the SD card. Now if you notice at the bottom right, there is a settings gear icon which lets you customize the OS before flashing. For example, you can enable SSH on the Pi upon booting. Now this could be extremely useful if you are running a server. You can also change the time zone, configure Wi-Fi, hostname, locale, and more. And once it's done, click on Write to start downloading the OS from the internet, and the Raspberry Pi imager tool will flash the OS automatically. And once it's done flashing, the system will boot into the new OS. The first boot will take around 5 to 10 minutes, so please be patient. Now, as you can see, I'm inside the Raspberry Pi OS. Also, you can see the SSH server is running by default upon booting, which is amazing. Now, this is how you set up the Raspberry Pi 4 with the help of a network installer, and thanks to the new bootloader update, which is going to become stable in the upcoming months or weeks. So what do you guys think about this? Let me know in the comment section down below. So if you have any suggestions or queries, comment down below. And if in case you like this video, hit the thumbs up. And don't forget to subscribe to this channel and consider hitting the bell icon to get notified whenever I post a brand new video. Thanks for watching my video. This has been KSKRL. I'll catch you in my next one. Bye-bye.